Whew, alrighty. I think we got everything lined up. Okay, I'm probably going to have to change that a little bit. Yeah, while I'm... Alright, let's go new. Yeah, so this one I've been looking forward to doing a bit of San Andreas. Yeah, hey Metin, how's it going? We're a little late to the party, but you know, better late than never. And hopefully, yeah, I caught what you meant on that last stream. I don't know what the hell was going on with my mic in the last one. Hopefully it sounds alright tonight. Actually, there is something that I wanted to check. No, hang on, no, that's alright. Yeah, so where actually was he for 5 years? He was in Liberty City, wasn't he? Yeah, I don't know what people's complaints are with how the definitive edition looks. I mean, this looks great. And I believe that's what? That's Sam Jackson as Tenpenny. I was just looking that up the other day. I think it's Chris Penn as Pulaski. Nice guy, Eddie. I'm kind of taken back by a lot of the environments. I mean, I really like the way this looks, man. This looks great. Oh, hang on. What have I done there? Okay, I'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, let's get back to it. What I love the most about Carl getting picked up here, the way that he is that he hasn't even stepped foot into Grove Street. Like, I know he was close to it. He was at the alleyway. But yeah, he hasn't even gotten back to the main street yet, and he's already got all this shit happening. I could have sworn I heard something. Alright. Alrighty. Literally just like riding a bike. Let's see if we remember how to do this. Smashed by a train straight fucking away. Is that not the best run for this? Hang on, where'd the bike go? Ah, forget it. I mean, we are off to a great start on this run. Has that ever happened before? Fucking hell. Alright. Right, which I'm guessing... Yep, alright. We've got all that figured out. Yeah, there's a few little pickups around the area. Okay, well, first things first. We got to arm up a little bit. Yep, alright. You can never go wrong with a shovel. Actually, there's quite a few weapons hidden around. Don't step into the highlighter just yet. There's quite a few weapons hidden around here. There's the, the tech on the roof. There's the handgun in the corner. Yeah, and the Definitive Edition adds in that weapon wheel, which is good. I always have trouble with this sometimes. No, no, got it first go. Yeah, I think it's a Tech 9 on the roof. Early access to a knife if you can kill one of these. But sometimes one of these prozzies will pull out the knife. Also, when it's one of these, when you're killing prozzies in the street, you know, you'll either get a big payday, a knife, or some of them will drop a gun. Getting your ammo pool up early, it ain't bad. But let's finish up this mission. We've got a little bit to do tonight, so we'll get we'll lay the base work down.
Okay, are you there?
Yeah, man, I'm here. You right?
No, yeah, good. Yeah, I just had to go and get my charger.
Yep.
What game are you playing tonight?
Just mucking around on San Andreas. I just kicked the stream off. I'll do the first couple of missions. Just to sort of get it going. I mean, I was having a fucking bastard of a time finishing up that director's cut, but I'm glad that I did it. And let's get... I hate leaving shit half done. Like, it bugs me to no end. Like, it's giving up halfway is worse than never trying at all. And this is my first go-around of the remastered version, so I'm keen to see how it goes. I don't remember CJ's house looking quite like this back in 2004, but we're a couple of years removed from that. I love saying that the shit's that's like 21 something years plus removed. Like I said that the other day about Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country, yeah, we're a little bit removed from the 2D era. Donkey Kong Country was 31 years ago. Oh, look.
That's not the fucked up part. The fucked up part is I remember when that came out.
Yeah, because I remember them on the Super Nintendo vaguely. I was pretty young, but I really had extensive time with them when they got their Game Boy Advance remakes. And that was about 10 years after. Game Boy Advance was early 2000, so, I mean, like, I remembered Country 2 and Country 3. But I didn't really sit down and really get to enjoy them until they came out on the Game Boy Advance. And then I remember saying, it could have even been to you, that the Game Boy Advance versions of the games were about 20 years old. And yeah, well, the originals are 30 years old.
Yeah, wow.
Like, I was thinking about this. This makes me, this blows my mind and makes me die a little inside at the same time. But Super Mario World is 35 years old. 1990, yeah. Oh, wow. And then you think we're 30 years removed from Yoshi's Island as well.
Yeah, that was a good game. I remember when it came out.
I cop a bit of flack for this, but I think Yoshi's Island, as far as the 2D platformers go, like I love Donkey Kong Country and Super Mario World and Mario Brothers 3 and all that jazz, but I don't know, there's just something about Yoshi's Island that I reckon makes it the best out of the lot.
Yeah, it's a very good game. Very well put together. The yeah, the gameplay mechanics were really strong, and I like that kind of pastel, hand drawn
It's like
kind
crayons.
of look at it. Yeah, it has that kind of look to it.
Yeah, like
So
crayons and textures and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's what
yeah,
really makes it work, because if it looked just like Super Mario World, it wouldn't have flown.
yeah.
He gonna get got.
That's Omar from The Wire,
Yeah, The
I think.
Wire. I
He's gonna
really,
get got.
I really need to get around to watching that.
Yeah, remarkable show. It's yeah, absolutely stellar. The Wire, a bit of a slow burn to start, but yeah, very tightly plotted, very strong characters. It's yeah, really.
I absolutely hate this fucking intro mission, primarily because it's so easy to outpace the NPCs. Yeah, I never got around to that one. How many seasons did it have?
Five from memory.
Yeah, alright.
It's a interesting one because yeah, it's a little bit uneven to start with. I almost bailed on it, but I was warned beforehand. The first couple of episodes, yeah, it's a bit of a slow burn. It takes a while to get going, and fresh off a show like The Shield for me, I'm thinking which is a bit more faster paced and a bit more action oriented. I was thinking, oh, I don't know, it better go somewhere fast, but it definitely does that. It quickly finds its footing and delivers a very strong season one, and it just gets better from there. Season two is a little bit maligned, but I enjoyed that because it kind of shifts the focus. The action is set in Baltimore, Maryland, but every season kind of introduces another slice of life in the city. So season one is about the drug dealers and the cops, but then season two brings in the unions and the ports. There's a cargo ship full of bodies, but it also juggles the ongoing plots with the drug dealers from season one. And then in season three, uh, the drug war again takes center stage, and then we look at like how education works in the city and that sort of stuff. So
It sounds a little too micro managed for me.
it's really good, and they do a masterful job of balancing it. Having just explained it that way, you'd think it would collapse with just too many plots and characters, but no, they it's masterful the way they juggled it. Particularly season two, it brings in a whole new cast with life on the docks and the port, um, and the unions and that, but it still picks up the threads from season one with the drug gangs. And I remember thinking just how clever and accomplished it was. that, yeah, like they introduced a dozen new characters and they're still juggling dozens and dozens of
Yeah.
characters from season one. And it doesn't feel forced. No one feels neglected. Um, very tightly plotted, yeah. So I think what helps is, on their writing team, they had like actual authors and novelists, not necessarily screenwriters per se. So they were very good at catching like continuity and the timeline and the plotting and all that. It was really solid.
God, trying to get on Sweet's roof to get that Tech 9. I don't know what it is, but lately it's just been fucking annoying. Oh, fuck this. I know another way of getting up there. I think it's here. Or not. Yeah, I'm taking that shit right back to Best Buy. Or not. I love it when shows get all wrapped up in that sense of oh yeah, well it's all going to tie together. Like it's like the Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse talking about Lost. If we had it all planned out from the beginning, those skeletons in the cave is going to be the answer to that question. If we always knew what we were doing, and it ends up being two completely original characters introduced in an episode 6 years after the fact that explain away that. But they were always fucking circling at it like that's going to be the proof that we had it worked out from the jump. Like, fuck off. Like anything to
Yeah.
avoid saying, yeah, look, man, we got high off our own supply.
Yeah. And there was a sort of, although I didn't realize it at the time, having the flashback immediately, how it quickly cuts back to season one
Yeah,
with Locke and Jack.
that was
And
bullshit. Yeah, they do that in that episode, don't they? Yeah.
yeah, it was probably the first inkling that the train was starting to go off the tracks. Because Lost never did that. Lost would toss in a little detail and it would really trust its audience to catch it and catch up. But by yeah, quickly sort of cheating, if that's the right word.
Yeah, because they
Quickly,
insert that flashback, our very own Adam and Eve, and it's not
yeah,
even it's not even a flashback with the sound effect.
yeah,
It's an inserted clip.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Is
Sorry, flashback's the wrong word. It's yeah, it's like stock footage, like
Yeah, I know what you're
with
talking about.
reinserted footage.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what you're talking about. Yeah, the footage is just reinserted. It's not even a show that narratively uses flashes
yeah,
for their character narratives and things like that. That's not what that was. That was just a fucking inserted clip to go. Do you remember those skeletons?
yeah,
Like, I mean, like, I honestly wouldn't mind as much because, like, I think after a point you have to expect it. Okay, it's gonna answer all the big shit. Um, is what it's at. It clearly became a runaway train with these guys. It's gotten so far away from them. They shouldn't have, yeah. Look, there's a million and one things that they could have done, but um, yeah,
yeah.
the
I
fact
was
that they were
okay.
going, the fact that they were going down with the ship. Nah, we had it all planned from the jump. I thought was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's I was okay. Although I probably wasn't at the time. I was a little bit underwhelmed, but I wasn't really paying attention because I was thinking they were going to explain every little nook and cranny of the show, and they weren't really going to do that. But rewatching
No,
it, um, and in particular that scene with Christian Shepherd, uh, sort of towards the end in the final episode, it all just sort of clicked for me then. But yeah, if I could just stop pissing blood all over the internet and gnashing my teeth and actually listen to what Christian Shepherd's saying, the ending made a lot more sense.
yeah,
Because, I was thinking about this watching Psycho 2 today. Although Hitchcock did not direct the sequel, the reason why Hitchcock's movies continue to get talked about today is he never explained everything. Like you take the birds for example,
yeah,
we never find out why the birds attack. and that was 50, 60 years later. If he had given a reason, the film probably would have faded away by now.
Yeah, it would have
So
lost.
deliberately
Yeah,
leaving things. Yeah, I mean, look at fucking who's the Twin Peaks guy?
David Lynch.
Lynch. Yeah, his works will continue to be talked about because he's very much of the idea of leaving it up to the viewer and their own interpretation. He deliberately puts things in his shows and his films that he has no intention of explaining. He deliberately does it, and it's kind of maddening in a way. But I mean, that's the reason. If he explained everything in Twin Peaks wouldn't exist anymore. It would have left nothing for audiences to go on. So I quite like that. As I get older, I think yeah, don't explain where that huge fucking statue came from.
The
just leave it up to
statue
the
of
imagination.
the statue of Tom Arrett.
Yeah, whatever that wank is. Don't explain what that giant wagon wheel in the center of the earth is.
Yeah, or how electromagnetism creates time travel. Who gives a shit? I mean, like, even Michael Crichton did this a lot of the time. And, like, I know I've mentioned this a few times, but it's always been one of my favorites was, how do you go from fossilized mosquito DNA into a viable dinosaur embryo? Well, the answer is you don't. I never addressed it in the book. And it's true, he doesn't at all. How do you go from that to a dinosaur? Well, you don't. Um,
Yeah, I love Crichton.
and yeah, like I just love that, just being real with it because it's like the whole White Lodge thing. I don't know if the Twin Peaks revival um went down the path of trying to explain what the lodges were. But I remember that beat going, oh, it's got something to do with like the stars aligning and planetary rotations and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, you're fucking losing me here. Why can't it just be like a magic thing that just turns up? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what he ended up doing anyway.
Yeah, I loved that third season. I finally got around to it last year. Very dense. Like every episode is almost like a movie in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, very dense. Because I started watching it back in 2017 when it premiered, and it didn't really grab me. But again, much like with my Venom rewatch, and once the dust has well and truly settled, sitting down and watching it on its own merits, was an incredible experience. So finally, well, my main takeaway is I finally understood Lynch.
Yeah,
And
David
yeah,
Lynch, yeah.
and one of the things I understood about him is he deliberately leaves things open-ended and vague, not because of shitty writing, but he's very much he wants the audience to bring their own interpretation to what he's doing. And I love him. I won't spoil it per se because you'll get around to it one year. But I love he no matter how much shit that song popped that James Marshall sings, he brought it back.
Oh, is that just you and
Yeah,
I shit
yeah,
over and over and over again?
yeah,
I don't know if it was the song, but my favorite part was when he's focused on Donna. Then he
yeah,
just immediately is like a fucking laser beam on Maddie.
yeah,
Like, hang on, I thought isn't the other one your missus? Like, like what's going on?
yeah. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, because a lot of the original cast are back, not in sort of huge substantial roles,
Yeah.
or not all of them anyway. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
James returns. Earl and Shelley and
I'm guessing
uh,
Bobby's in there somewhere. Bobby Briggs.
yeah, and they really did a great job with him. I was really impressed with his growth and his development. And impressed with Shelley as well, but in a different way. I absolutely adored how they handled both of those characters. Um, the I think the who else? Yeah, they brought back a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it is predominantly a new cast. I think they really cracked the code. Because the elephant in the room is Frank Silver. Um, how do you get over that sort of challenge of the sort of the primary antagonist is the actor's no longer alive, and I thought it was brilliant having Kyle McLaughlin, who I've never been the biggest fan of,
No, I
but
haven't.
he's won me over. He is absolutely electric in this show. He's playing multiple roles, more than he's the evil doppelganger, and he's also Cooper, and yeah, there's a few more surprises because the whole backbone of the season is so obviously season two ended abruptly with him being trapped in the Black Lodge, and this is about his. It was marketed as this is Cooper's Odyssey back to Twin Peaks, and yeah, it definitely delivers it in spades. And I just think it's lovely that Cooper, he really did fall in love with that town in the first two seasons, even though he's investigating this horrible murder and he's a city boy. The townsfolk
Oh,
and the
fuck! Yeah,
yeah,
go on.
that sort of small town country living really won him over, and he wanted to stay. So, and yeah, this is about his odyssey back to Twin Peaks. So yeah, I absolutely love the
Jesus.
first season.
I need to get focused is what I fucking need. Yeah, back to Twin Peaks. I mean, just give me some of that, Jacoby with the fucked up glasses, like the red and the blue lens.
Yeah, yeah, and he's back. He's in it as well. Yeah.
Well, I suppose, I mean, like, look, if you're going to do a revival, 25 something years after the fact, I mean, everyone who's living and breathing, why not have them?
Yeah, I
Who's
think the
still around?
only yeah, Benjamin and Jerry Horner there, Audrey. I think the only one who doesn't that's notable is Donna Lara Flynn Boyle. She didn't return for whatever reason, but the rest of them are there in some capacity. But yeah,
Oh, so they didn't even recast.
Nah, Donna's completely absent. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough.
But yeah, I'm doing it a disservice. It's absolutely you'll get to it one day, and yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it as well.
I think the reason why I never got around to it when it was coming out was simply because, I mean, the remakes, like, it wasn't even the remakes, but it was more of the revivals of things, like the Heroes Reborn, the new fucking Prison Break. I think 24 did something as well. And then Twin Peaks, probably the one that was the most deserving out of the lot, being the last to the party. I was kind of
Yeah,
like, yeah, look, man, I don't really have the energy for another belated continuation.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad it happened, and it's just Lynch in zero fucks given mode. I mean, he was sort of 2017. He passed away last year, um, or this year rather. Yeah, he passed away this year. But
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
yeah, he was getting towards the end of his sort of life and career, and it's very creative. It's very bold. It's pretty much Lynch, zero fucks given, like bringing that song back. He knows people sort of shit all over it. He just doesn't care. I just love it. He just brings it back. Every episode ends with a little live musical number, and yeah, I just laughed when that song came back. It's great.
he's just so wooden.
James
I think
Marshall.
that's James. Yeah, James Marshall. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna need to change that font on the chat. Well, I thought you were gonna play the original. Uh, you know what? I've never actually beaten the definitive one, so why not? I was dumb enough to do the advanced mode for Resident Evil, so why not give this one a shot? All right, we gotta come up with something here. We'll see how we go with white. I might just have to stick to white. Yeah, and but like I think probably the one like it's sort of a good luck again, a good luck within bad luck situation that Frank Silva was the one to not return, which is a shame. But also he was the one that was least seen, um,
Well, I think
as well.
that adds to his potency as a villain. One of the reasons he's so memorable is yeah, he they used him sparingly. So when he does show up, it's condition red. It's all hands on deck.
Yeah,
Because
Frank Silva.
yeah. And it's someone, I forget who the guest was on John Bleasdale's podcast. They were talking about it. It's they hadn't quite decided on the villain or the look of the villain or anything like that. It was and the famous story goes, he was a set decorator and he was working in the set of Sarah Palmer's bedroom and he frightened the actress. And Lynch just sort of put him in the film. As he spoke with Frank Silva, who, as it turned out, had a little bit of acting experience as well, and he just cast him as the villain. And that's a director with no ego at all, who's just sort of waiting. If he hears a better idea, he'll go with it. And yeah, what a terrifying villain he turned out to be. He's an absolute freak.
Yeah, the fucking long hair, the twisted grin, all that
Yeah,
sort of shit. I think it's the
yeah,
ashy look that he has. Like the guy just looks like a cigarette.
yeah. I think well, one of my takeaways is torment. That's one of the themes of the story. He's the personification of torment. He just lives to inflict pain and suffering on anyone
Well, look
who's
at what he
unlucky
did
enough
when he
to.
possessed Leland. Like, look at
Yeah,
what he did there. Like, that was what's that Dutch line? I mean, he confessed to some heinous shit, Korean.
yeah. And being an evil spirit, he's been doing it for hundreds of years, if not thousands, if not forever.
I wonder if he was always anchored to Twin Peaks or if he could leave it.
Yeah, well, it's fun to wonder. It's that's what makes it so great. Um,
I'm
but
guessing
definitely,
he's tied into the Black Lodge. Like
yeah.
I'm guessing he can't wander too far from it.
Well, season three is a much more global kind of story. The action does take place in a few other different places, so it's a bit more of an expansive scope. But there's a lot of that being said, though, there's a lot of Twin Peaks in a show called Twin Peaks, funnily enough. But yeah, I loved all that stuff, and it's just so brilliant, like casting Kyle MacLachlan, and even he said he's not used to playing characters like that who's playing the evil. The well, I just call him the Bob Cooper. I think that's the internet handle. You got, but yeah, there's a lot of Kyle MacLachlan in it because he's just picked up this show and put it on his back and is just soldiering on.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Dale Cooper.
Yeah. I mean, for like, but it makes you wonder though. Had that season, what really? How would the show really have had its swan song? Like, would it have been as well received as
Yeah,
the
it's fun to
revival?
wonder. Yeah, it's fun to wonder. But it's yeah, Lynch and is it Mark Frost?
I
They
believe so,
were
because it was strange. Because I think the last thing officially produced for Twin Peaks was Fire Walk with Me, which was bizarre. Because why would you go for a prequel when you've got this cliffhanger that sort of needs addressing? Um,
yeah. Well, they do touch on that a little bit. Yeah, it's primarily set in the past, but there's one or two little here and there where they pick up in the present. But yeah, it was really difficult. And the other MVP is Cheryl Lee. Astonishingly, she gets criticized for her acting, and it's always been kind of a weird role. She essentially just plays a corpse and has to lay there, Laura Palmer. But
yeah,
but she is incredible in Fire Walk with Me, and believe it or not, there's a lot of Laura in season three, with Cheryl Lee, and she delivers an absolute fucking power packed performance. How anyone bags there for her acting is just does my head in. She absolutely fucking brings the thunder.
Yeah, you called down the thunder. Well, now you got it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, she's phenomenal in the revival as well.
Okay, I'm killing prostitutes at the moment because I'm trying to get more ammo off of them. Because
It, well,
I'm gonna go in
it's
and save the game in a minute, and I'll lose my wanted stars anyway.
it's loaded with dead hookers.
Well, I know a dead hooker when I see one. Yeah, just trying to build up some funds. Yeah, I mean, San Andreas, I mean, yeah, like I was saying in the other stream, like I've tried to play Vice City, just the fucking 80s-ness of it is just too much. No, get away from me with that. I don't care. I'm sure it was a great game back in the day, but trying to play it in retrospect, it is a bit tough. And I always thought San Andreas was the superior. Yeah, exactly. San Andreas is better, bro. Of course it is. It's fucking superior in every way. And don't even get me started on Grand Theft Auto 3. Like, I know it's sort of the progenitor of the 3D series, but that game has aged like piss vinegar, and I'm tired of pretending that it hasn't. The owls are not what they seem.
Yeah, the giant gave him three clues. What were they? A man
The
in a
owl,
smiling bag.
yeah, the owls are not what they seem, and I can't remember what the third one
Yeah.
was. I
Well,
mean, I was a teenager for fuck's sake the last time I saw Twin Peaks.
yeah, I think it was the man in a smiling bag. That was Jacques Renault in a body bag, wasn't it? With the blood dripping.
I think so, yeah.
Firewalk, yeah, Firewalk with Me was the other one. And yeah, the owls are not what they seem. The giant.
Do you remember in Who Shot Mr. Burns when they
Yeah.
knock that off when Chief Wiggum passes out?
Yeah, I absolutely love Who Shot Mr. Burns. What about w- we can't solve it, can you? Well, I guess, I mean, it's my job, right?
Yeah, I love how he's even in the red curtains,
Yeah.
and the marble checkered floor is even there
Yeah,
from
Burns' suit.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah. It reminded me of, yeah, I watched Psycho 2 today. Remember they spoofed that with Skin and his mother? And it's even got the actual house sitting up on the hill.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they
Oh,
channel a
it
lot
just
of that sort of shit. Like they'll channel the Bates Motel, they'll channel the Overlook,
yeah,
for things like Bad Dream House.
I tried to watch Cape Fear, the De Niro one last week, and I couldn't get into it in a good way. It just kept reminding me of the Sideshow Bob spoof.
I actually quite like that episode. To
Yeah,
be
it's a
honest,
oh bloody hell.
the relocation programs.
Yeah.
I
And
always like the two cops that are fucking, hello, Mr. Thompson.
yeah.
And they're there for, like, if you look at the clock, like they're all clean shaven at the start of it,
Yeah.
briefing the Simpson family, and then at the end of it, like they've got like the 2 day growth stubble. They're smoking. They've got the
Yeah.
loose tie.
Yeah, it's got some of the best. Yeah, the Hello, Mr. Thompson is one of the
It's like I
best
stomp.
lines in the show's history.
I love how they're giving up. Hello, Mr. Thompson. Like, and then you just say hi. Like they give up giving Homer any lines. I'll stomp on your foot and say hello, Mr. Thompson, and you just smile and nod. Like they don't even give him anything to say, and he still can't do it. That's the one that cracks me up the most.
Yeah,
Um,
Sideshow Bob's tattoos.
yeah, no, that is German for the Bart.
Yeah,
The.
it's German for the Bart the.
I always love the jurors. Well, no one who speaks German could be an evil man.
Absolute classic. The Simpsons were so good at taking the piss.
Yeah, it's someone was talking to me the other day about the Hungry Are the Damned. Uh, when Kang and Kodos and Sirach, I think the other one was, when they have the Simpsons up on their ship, and then he's like, we got cable TV or whatever, bringing channels from the furthest reaches of the universe. Do you get HBO? No, that would cost extra. And then over here, like, and I love how they say, like, one of the comments on that was, this skit is from 1990 and it's still pinpoint accurate about
Yeah,
HBO being too fucking expensive for what it
yeah.
is.
How good's that? That is great.
I love some of the jokes that have aged that well. Yeah, early Simpsons, man, just fucking bang on the money.
Yeah, and Skinner, I think it's even in the same episode. He's thinking back to Nam, and he's on the boat, and they're spoofing Apocalypse Now.
Skinner's an
Oh,
interesting character, isn't he? Because, like, the guy has got some deep trouble with him,
yeah,
like with his military service. Like, I'm not talking about the principal and the pauper episode. Like, I'm talking about Skinner, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on with that guy.
yeah.
Like, he's often the
Liked
butt of the jokes, but the irony is he's like one of the last guys you ever want to bag the shit out of.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I had the choice between joining the army or apologizing. Had I known there was a war going on, I probably would have apologized.
Yeah. Yeah. Seymour Skinner.
Yeah.
All right,
Um,
let's just go through here like a fucking extermination squad and just kill them all. Yeah, we kill them all. Let God sort them out. Oh, this is something that I'm cracking up about. Everyone talking about GTA 6. Oh, it's going to be like a really realistic game. Get this. These wankers think Grand Theft Auto is realistic. Imagine that for a joke. All right, I think that's everyone. Let's get out of here. Skinner. One thing that I've noticed though with the Simpsons, because I haven't watched every single episode ever. God, I don't even have the fucking lifespan in Death Note years to even be able to attempt that. But one thing that I've noticed is like the Halloween specials have gone from being like their original things like Hell to Pay to basically just being parodies of every horror movie that's hot at the time.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they've spoofed a lot of them.
Yeah, like because
The
I remember what
yeah,
there was like a paranormal knockoff. There was a paranormal activity knockoff. Sorry, and
yeah,
other
the
things that were
island of
hot at the time.
yeah, I remember the island of Doctor Moreau with Doctor
Isn't
Hibbert.
it Doctor Hibbert? Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you seen the original of that?
not the original, because it was um, so it's based on a book by H.G. Wells. There was a first film adaptation around the 1930s or so. Um, but I did the only one I've seen is the Val Kilmer Marlon Brando one from the 1990s. I would I'd, I've never read the book. I'd like to read the book and also yeah track down a copy of the the first one, the first adaptation.
Yeah.
Uh, and there's a great documentary as well about because it's the 1990s one was a notorious flop. Its reputation precedes it by a long way. There's a good documentary called Doomed about yeah, just what a shit show it was. The original director Richard Stanley was fired mid filming, and things just yeah, they really lost the plot with that movie. It was filmed in and around Cairns and in far north Queensland, and the weather was just oppressive. The Australian summers and
Oh,
the
don't even get me started
weather.
on
It's
that. Fucking
yeah,
hell.
it's cyclone territory. The actors are in heavy suits, heavy fur, heavy makeup, uh, and yeah, the heat was just oppressive. And the story's not that good. You've got Marlon Brando who has caused trouble on on pretty much every movie he's worked on.
You know,
From
when I see lists of notoriously pain in the ass actors, because I remember Richard Donner had a good story about him on Superman, where Marlon rocks up and is basically like, "I'm doing all of this in one take. What you get is what you get." Like, fuck off, mate.
yeah, the stories in that documentary are hilarious. Where he talks about so it was produced by New Line Cinema with Robert Shea, uh, who's probably main claim to fame now is green lighting the three Lord of the Rings films, but back in the day, so I forget who tells the story, but Marlon Brando's in the car and he says, "Pull over," and he says, "Let's fuck Bob Shay," and they go, "Why?" or whatever, and he goes, I want the ending to be Dr. Moreau takes his like he's wearing a skin mask. He removes it, and he's got the head of a dolphin.
Is that what Marlon Brando said?
Yeah, yeah, that was Marlon Brando's idea.
Okay, I'm gonna get that on a shirt. Let's fuck Bob Shay.
Yeah,
He had to pull over the car to say that.
yeah, and it's also another example of new the production companies based in the States and they're filming in Australia a long way away. And yeah, the lunatics are running the asylum. It's kind of like what happened on Babe, Pig in the City, the sequel to Babe. The talking pig, a lovable, wholesome, warm-hearted family adventure. But when George Miller was left to his own devices, it's a fucking he turns into like a Mad Max movie. Farmer Hoggett like breaks every bone in his body in like the prologue. um, it's just such a dark, twisted kind of film. That second Babe movie,
Yeah, Pig in the
there were
City.
yeah, the people were horrified by it. It is very deceptive, that one. That is certainly, if you think it's
Yeah,
people
Farmer.
wandering
Yeah,
into
he
it.
falls down a well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was meant
From
to
memory.
die. Yeah, he was meant to die originally.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, they just have him severely injured.
I hate sequels that do that. By the way, that's why I never checked out Happy Gilmore too. Because I heard that he sends a fucking drive right through Virginia's head, and then I'm like, yeah, look, no, fuck off. I hate sequels that do that. I don't give a shit how belated they are. Um, no, I can't get behind that, man.
Yeah, Julie Bowen. Yeah, Virginia Bennett.
Yeah, she's just fucking offed. At the start. Yeah, all right, that's great. I mean, God forbid someone waited 30 years to see her come back.
Yeah.
But it doesn't surprise me because all these SNL guys are doing that shit in all of their movies. Like, I mean, Kevin Smith, I think, has done, even though he's not an SNL guy, like, he's done that with what? Just about every sequel to something that he has made has done the dead wife trope. Like, Clerks 3 does it right out of the gate. I heard that Mallrats 2 was supposed to do it with Brandy. Um, Yeah, no, I don't understand what that fetish is. I think the only time a sequel late to the party has done that and it's worked was Rocky Balboa with Adrian's death. I think everything else that's tried to do that has always gone tits up.
Yeah, it's a funny one. With the sort of reasons going in behind making the decision. Sometimes I think it's they just don't want to return. So, but you can't sort of not have them in it, so you have to explain their absence, and it's probably the quickest and easiest one to just sort of kill them off. Because I don't think Talia Shire wanted to return. The Or it could be just a scheduling thing. It's a weird one. I don't know about Julie Bowen because I know she was in that Modern Family show, but I'm not sure if that's still airing or what have you. But yeah, she's killed off abruptly at the start. Um, um, Yeah, like Linda Hamilton didn't want to return for Terminator 3, so they just wrote her out. She died off screen. Um,
Yeah.
because yeah, she was sort of had an open mind, but it just seemed like a negligible sort of part, so she passed on it. Um, and then those events were retconned, and she did make a belated appearance in Dark Fate.
I love the retcon of the retcon of the retcon. I always like what Duncan Casey said about uh, Dial of Destiny going into it, like why Mutt has been removed from Indy 5. He was like, and what about, but what about, Mutt's mum? It'll be a phone call, but it will only get Indy's side of it, and he'll be like, don't forget to visit your mother's grave. And then that'll just be it. They've fucking poochied him out of this.
Yeah, indie. It's because Spielberg didn't direct the latest one, did he? It was fucking
James Mangold, I think,
yeah, James Mangold.
did Dial of
Yeah,
Destiny. Yeah.
and he has done very solid work. He directed Logan, which is an outstanding film. I think he did um was it Cold Mountain, or maybe that was Anthony Minghella. But yeah, James Mangold has a very solid pedigree. Um, but yeah, it's such an interesting sort of series, Indiana Jones. Because Spielberg, he's not really a sequel sort of guy, but there's a couple of these really big exceptions. The indie movies, they're like serial adventures. They're standalone adventures as well, so they sort of don't really count. They're almost like James Bonds in that way. Like James Bonds aren't sequels per se. They're just sort of he's got another mission, you know. It's another story, and
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't count Tomorrow Never Dies as GoldenEye 2.
yeah, it's not a direct sequel to GoldenEye. It's just got the same actors.
Like if
Um,
anything,
so I think,
it could be a prequel to it. Like it could be set
yeah,
anywhere.
yeah, that's right. It doesn't really specify the sort of time. So when you remove that caveat, it's I think it's only just the Lost World sequel that he's done. Although is so he directed Ready Player One is and there's a book called Ready Player Two. I'm not sure if they've made a film of that yet, um, or whether he's directing it or not. I know he directed Tintin, but believe it or not, Peter Jackson is penciled in as the director for the sequel to that one. So yes, if you remove the kind of Indiana Jones is more like a serial, not a sequel. Yeah, it's really only The Lost World is the only sequel that Spielberg's ever done. I think he's been so prolific.
Yeah, I love that. No, we don't do sequels because they're um like we want to invest in newer projects, says the guy who's done more sequels than original works. Um,
Yeah,
I love it when guys like that make that argument. Like
yeah, because
Brian
he,
Singer was one of those idiots that used to make that argument. I'm like, yeah, but you've returned to X-Men like 4 times, mate. Like,
yeah,
I think you've lost the right to
yeah.
flex.
Yeah, well, particularly after the turd that was Apocalypse, he's definitely lost the right to flex there.
Yeah, I know. And what I find funny about that is that he had the balls in Apocalypse to have another jab at The Last Stand. But I'm sitting here thinking, what's the gap between Apocalypse and The Last Stand? Like, what, a full on decade? Like,
Oh
wow.
yeah,
Yeah, what,
yeah. The Last Stand was
2006 to 2016?
2006.
So, yeah,
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
yeah, so, wow, Brian, awesome. You're having a jab a fucking decade after the fact. Uh, but the movie you're making that jab in is shit.
Yeah, real letdown. I don't think they ever really capitalized on the momentum that Days of Future Past generated. It was because that's a really good film. I remember being really energized and excited leaving the theater about the future of that franchise, and it all sort of came crashing down barely 2 years later.
And the worst part is when you leave the theater with Days of Future Past and you're thinking about how awesome it is and the fucking apocalypse cock tease at the end of it, and then you start telling all your mates about how awesome the next one's going to be, and then it turns into shit like what it actually was, and now you're the one that looks like an idiot for backing it
Yeah,
the way that you did.
yeah,
Like, oh,
that
I can
pretty
never
much,
forgive them for that.
yeah, that pretty much summed me up to a T.
We all did, man.
Yeah, I was really excited for Apocalypse. I remember distinctly seeing that because I was on a work trip. They sent me to Brisbane for God knows what. So I had the evening to myself and um yeah, went to one of those big shopping mall complexes, and the cinema was right up on the top floor. So I scaled up there and was really excited to see Apocalypse, but yeah, I was very underwhelmed
Oh,
leaving.
you and me both, man. Apocalypse was not a good time. I don't know why they cast that. I actually don't mind the gym workouts in San Andreas. I mean, it probably has the most character customization of any of the Grand Theft Auto games. Yeah, Apocalypse, and I tried to watch Dark Phoenix and I fell asleep like 10 minutes in. I talked about this on one of the previous streams, but I don't know. I don't have the affinity for the Dark Phoenix saga the way everyone else does. I mean, it was a little too before my time.
Yeah, and that's understandable. Yeah,
Um,
different era.
I'm sure it's a great read and all of that. I've just got no fucking connection to it at all.
Yeah,
um, because my only real exposure to it is the two times the X-Men movies have tried to use the Phoenix, and they've both have been complete turds. So, it's like, maybe I should sit down and read the source material, and then I'm like, yeah. Nah, I'm all right.
yeah,
Like you get to that point where the adaptations have just taken one too many cracks at it.
yeah. It gets diluted, and an adaptation can be different, but it needs to capture the spirit of the source material. And yeah, you shouldn't have to watch an adaptation of anything and then go back and read whatever and to understand what the big deal is. If an adaptation can't capture the spirit of why it was so good, and it can change as many things as it wants, but if it can't do that, then it's absolutely failed.
Yeah, see, this is what bothers me. I was going to mention this before. Like, this is why I can't stand lore talk. Like, oh man, like what about this franchise that everyone's going nuts about? Oh yeah, do you know the lore about it? It's a fucking show that goes week to week. Like, what do you mean
Yeah,
the lore? Like, it's a fucking culture that you have to study. Oh, I get so cringes me out, man, when fans start talking about that. It's like we were having a chinwag about Death Note. And then, I'm like, yeah, I didn't mind those two movies, the two Japanese movies. Um, oh yeah, but it didn't understand the lore. Fuck off, man. Like, I don't like talking to fans like that. Um, like lore, it's like they get into something, but they're hell bent on making it incredibly inaccessible to any newcomer. I just
yeah,
for the
gatekeeping assholes.
I will never for the life of me understand this kind of behavior in fans. Like, you need to understand the lore. No, you don't. Just if you want to check out what Death Note's about, just watch one of the live action movies, that came out back in the 2006, whenever. Oh no, you got to go back and read the manga, and you need to read this version of. No, fuck off, man. Like, I can't stand wankers like that.
Yeah, and I actually look forward to changes. I
Me
don't
too. Yeah.
I don't want to see a 100% kind of faithful adaptation because if I'm a fan of something or own a book to something, I've got the book. I don't want to see a page by page, word for word reenactment of that. I want to see how they've streamlined it and combined things and brought in new things. Because it would just be so fucking boring to watch something that is 100% faithful.
See,
I
because
mean,
that's
it's
why I never gave the Super Mario Brothers movie a shot in 2023, I think it was. Like, it looks and feels just like a fucking video game. Why don't we go and play a Mario game? Like, why would I
yeah,
want to watch a movie like that? I'd rather just play a game.
yeah, yeah. I think so too. And we kind of talked about it as well with the Bay's Transformers films. They seem to be more popular and more successful, even though they're making a lot more concerted effort now to keep things kind of faithful, and they're not doing as well. So maybe there's a lesson to be learned there.
Yeah, we mentioned that. Yeah, we talked about that last week on the stream, and that was, isn't it interesting that the more Transformers has lent into being faithful to G1, and even with its G1 designs, like I was watching the fight scene from Transformers 1 with Megatron and Optimus Prime, and like it almost damn near looked like the 1986 movie. And I'm sitting here thinking two things. One, I don't know why people want to fucking see that. And two, isn't it interesting that the more that they've tried to faithfully, scene by scene, recreate something, the more underperforming that it's done? Like it seems like the more hell bent on being faithful that they are, the less interested people are in it.
Yeah, yeah. It's and you combine that with yeah, like you mentioned, gatekeeping fans who are just insufferable. You combine that with social media.
Yeah,
Bad movies don't seem to get the chance now to sort of fade away. They just become low hanging fruit for redditors.
see, like I'm starting to see people talk about. See, now I've always liked Attack of the Clones, um, but I'm starting to see a lot of videos like up on my feed going, "It's way better than you remember. It's time to check it out again." Like, well, no shit, because a lot of the assholes that were going on about how it fucked everything have probably passed away since then. So now we can have a reasonable discussion about it now.
Yeah, well, it all sounded so good in theory back in the day. I mean, around 2015, there was the wisdom
Transforming.
was we just have to get rid of George Lucas. He's old, he's past it. If we he's holding us back like Anakin, if we can just get rid of him, we can usher Star Wars into a bold new era. So The Force Awakens comes out and it does very well. There's, you know, no one's disputing that. It was a massive, massive, massive hit. I
Yeah,
think even to this day, it's the fifth or sixth highest grossing film of all time, and you can't fluke that. Um, but it didn't really offer anything new. It was quite content to color inside the lines and just riff on what had gone before. And this was by design. Iger talks about it in his book. Disney wanted to deliver the quintessential Star Wars experience, and which is exactly what it
the
did. If
Unicron.
that's what their goal was, they succeeded
So,
magnificently.
but the thing that I've always found interesting about Star Wars Episode 7 was, it was Star Wars greatest hits, and the worst part about it was that's all it really needed to be. Like, is that really a shock to anyone that that's what it was? Like,
Yeah, well, it reminds me of um, a cricketing analogy from 2005. So England finally took back the Ashes after 17 years of Australian dominance, and there was a crucial moment in that series where one of the five games was a draw. So Michael Vaughan, the English captain, while he was obviously frustrated that Australia just hung on, England bashed the shit out of them for 5 days, but they just couldn't deliver the knockout blow. But he looked up and Australia are hugging and celebrating a draw, and tears are crying. And he said, "Hang on, fellas, keep your heads up. This all-conquering Australian team that has swept all before it, now they're celebrating draws and high-fiving each other."
hmm,
So, and because Star Wars always pushed the boundaries. Where I'm going with this analogy is creatively and technically, Star Wars always pushed the boundaries of filmmaking. So, and yeah, when the Force Awakens came out, it didn't do any of that, and it's being applauded for it. That's when I thought maybe maybe there's some sort of problems nesting in there that if we don't keep an eye on them could really hurt the saga going forward. Because like the special effects were not mind blowing the way the original trilogy was.
It was
But having
pretty
said that,
by the
it was
numbers, really. But
yeah,
the
it
fact
was
that it didn't even try,
yeah.
um,
Star Wars, and even and that's one of my bugbears with the Terminators later ones. They Terminator 1 and 2 push the boundaries of what was possible. It's part of their DNA. So to have it now be in the hands of people who are just content to coast by on what's gone before, um, and they were encouraged to do that when you have a massive global hit like The Force Awakens was, um, playing it so safe. It was yeah, they like it really is not surprising that the later installments and the later product. Um, so anyway, to round out to your thing, what it did do was make people go, you know, suddenly we realized developing a Star Wars movie isn't as easy as it sounds in theory. And it made come back George, that there definitely was a push, come back George, all is forgiven. There was
like
a
I
there was
can't
a push for
believe,
that.
I can't
And it
believe that people were saying, um, like there's still this rumor getting kicked around that George is entertaining the idea of repurchasing Lucasfilm. Like, why the fuck would he?
Yeah, that's a pipe dream, yeah. But it made and it certainly made people reappraise the prequels, because the prequels, they're bursting at the seams with creative energy. One thing he didn't do was rehash the original trilogy, and there would have been a temptation to.
Well, see,
So
that's
yeah,
like I like because that was the message. Just real quick on that, like that was the message I was getting from Rick McCallum. Is that was something that he sort of was leaning more into. Um, yeah, like because that whole. Do you remember seeing that quick little snippet? Now, granted, it is out of context, but I just think the way he's saying that when you saw that original Star Wars, it just seemed like the Force Awakens is the kind of thing that he would have liked to have done.
yeah, yeah, you
Um,
do get that impression, yeah.
yeah, like I don't know, maybe I'm reading too far into that, but that's what it always seemed like to me is that he wanted to go down the Force Awakens path in the '90s with Phantom Menace.
Yeah, you do get that impression. It's just not yeah, it sort of didn't generate the sort of feeling that the original trilogy had. But is that just because, as well, like we've sort of touched upon, people are just older now? I mean, are movies really as shit as they've ever been, or are people just older now and it takes a lot more to impress them?
Because
Because there's
you
always
said a
been,
you said a very good comment the other night, and I've used it last week, and I've used it about 7 times this week. And that was, yeah, Star Wars is probably not going to hit the same at 45 as it did when you were 5.
yeah, and that's probably true for everything. It's look, because there's always been bad movies. I mean, these people that crap on that the 80s and 90s were this golden age. There was someone who sort of was an avid moviegoer during some of those decades. There was garbage in the 90s, mate. Like, my fucking word, there was.
What, Samurai Cop didn't do it for you?
Yeah, it's just that they just sort of fade away, and the cream of the crop is what's remembered. But it tricks people into thinking that it was always like that. You know, there's plenty of good movies that have been produced in the 2000s, and there's been a lot of garbage as well. And it was ever this way, um, since since before time began. There
Yeah,
have always been shit movies.
yeah, I remember a good comment when people were harping up about some of the more recent Pokemon designs, going, "Yeah, they're nowhere near as cool as the original 151." But what they don't realize is the 151 contained things like Grimer and Muck, Pokemon that are literally modeled after shit. It's because shit ideas have been around since the beginning, but for some reason or another, they refuse to accept that. Um,
Yeah,
like, not every single one of them was an out and out hit like Charizard and Blastoise. Even back in
yeah,
the 90s, there were some pretty shocking designs. um,
yeah,
it is what it is. When someone asks you to design 1,000 monsters, you're gonna have some shit ones in there.
yeah,
But they're not ready for that discussion. Yeah, Transformers, Rise of the Beast. See, and that's another reason why I don't really follow the Transformers movies. Like, I love Beast Wars and all that kind of thing, and you would think Transformers Rise of the Beast would be right up my alley, and I'm sure there's things in it that I would enjoy. The problem is that I'm 25 years older than what I was when I first saw Beast Wars. um, and I literally, it's not even a blip on the radar for me to check out. Oh, but Optimus Primal's in it. All right, and um, that's great.
yeah,
I hope everyone enjoys it. But what's it gonna really do for me? It's the same reason why everyone, the point that we mentioned before, why is everyone pretty much by and large what I'm seeing is people what they want out of Transformers after Transformers 1 and it failed because of lack of marketing. They want a scene by scene recreation of the 86 movie, and what pisses me off about that, is that they're probably going to get that wish sooner than later.
yeah.
Um, but what,
I suspect they will. I suspect you're right. Yeah,
yeah, like there's no doubt in my mind that's going to happen. But what gets me the most about it is what is that actually going to do for you that the 86 film right now can't?
yeah. It's a bit sad what's happening with that sort of brand, but maybe Hasbro are just fishing where the fishes are. Um, because yeah, it's pretty much all G1 stuff now. Whereas, um, like, where are the new characters? Where are the new designs? Where are they? It's pretty much all geared towards older collectors now.
Which is why nothing can be reasonably priced. Like you wonder why
Yeah,
deluxe toys that used to be $30 are now going for 60. Like they're charging Voyager prices for
yeah,
deluxes now. Like that's fucking absurd. That's why I haven't even looked online for Transformers toys like at all since this insanity started.
yeah. I
Because
did the same.
it's all geared towards fucking 45-year-old Transformer collectors. Um, is what it is. Like I don't want to own another fucking Bumblebee, or any of that shit. But that's all that they're releasing at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit
Um,
sad. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully things will change, but
I,
I'm not,
yeah, like I
but
think
I'm not counting on it.
this is why I start to agree with what Pokemon did. Like, don't even like I know Game Freak are assholes as well. Everyone knows Nintendo is everyone's least favorite company at the moment, and all that kind of jazz. This is where I do start to agree with Game Freak's take. Now, this is not the reason why they actually went through with the National Dex, removing it completely. Um, but it's more of a byproduct of why they did it and of doing it, and that is, well, it really does force out the old and gets more newer players in playing with more recent Pokemon. I agree it should be able to cater to both, but the real backbone muscle of people that tune into Pokemon isn't the 35-year-old who was playing it on a Game Boy Color back in the 90s. It's the 10-year-old kid watching it after school. Um, so if you remove that sort of never-ending bloodline of collecting 1,000 fucking monsters in a game, well, then there's no reason for guys like me to cling on to it anymore. It was basically the thank you for your service, goodbye, we won't be needing you anymore.
Yeah,
Is what the Nat Dex cut really was. Some I think more reasonable people saw it that way. Not everyone did.
yeah. I hope.
like that's what Beast Wars I think was. Well, there's no Optimus Prime, there's no Bumblebee, there's no Soundwave. Fuck off. Um, this is for an entirely different. We gave you your shot, and it's not working anymore. Uh,
Yeah, because Beast Wars was fresh and it was dynamic.
yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
Transformers Armada, like it took the names, but they were all sort of redesigned and they look fresh, and interesting and exciting. I don't see that. I see there's a studio series Transformers One Arachnid out, which I may pick up. She doesn't cost a fucking arm and a leg, but she was an interesting, memorable character. I don't think that character has appeared in previous iterations before. Well, if she did, I don't remember her. Because yeah, she had a really cool role in that movie. Yeah, and her toy. I saw her toy listed this afternoon, and it didn't fucking. I don't have to fucking take out a second mortgage to buy her, so I may pick her up. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to think of some workarounds. I haven't used Amazon Australia yet, but
I've used it a few times. It's all right.
yeah, they seem to be slightly cheaper, and they often have good shipping deals as well. So I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on them. But yeah, anything else is just fucking ridiculous in terms of pricing.
Uh,
I had a
the
look through.
King's Toys is another good one. That's an Aussie business.
Yeah,
I've bought a few
the
things from
games
them
aren't
before.
too bad either. They're sort of competitively priced by and large.
Yeah, I think they're marked up by a smidgen. They're not fucking marked up 200%. The way all these other
Yeah,
wankers on
yeah,
eBay seem to think, like Spinosaurus Hammond Collection
yeah,
going for like $400. Get bent.
yeah. Oh, I know. There's a Legacy Dirge, which is just a little deluxe action figure going for $900.
Yeah, get fucked,
And
man.
and don't forget, Transformers fans, don't lose hope. Lean into KOs or third parties. They're often
I
better
tell you,
priced and better quality.
I've picked up quite, and not to mention some knockoffs actually fix defective designs. Like
Yeah,
the Tigertron,
yeah.
the masterpiece Tigertron was notorious for a tail that breaks off. Mine has come close to breaking off. That's why he just chills out in Tiger mode now. I never transform him. I don't even rough him up anymore. Um, but apparently the knockoff one fixed that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning more into KOs and third parties. There's a third party um, collection of the three Conehead Seekers that I'm interested in. So I'll have to do a little bit more research and watch some reviews. But they look all right, and I quite like the fact that they're all together, so I don't have to fucking root around getting them
You
separately.
know what really pisses me off with Hasbro? I'll tell you this for nothing. Why is it? Yeah, and I do agree. Metin Transformers 1 to 3 is fucking awesome. Like that's yeah, Michael Bay mate all the way. One thing that really pisses me off when it comes to teams like that, like the Seekers and the Coneheads, is why is it I can find a complete box set of 3 deluxe Seekers for the fucking Rainmakers like Ion Storm, Acid Storm, and Piss Storm, or whatever the other one is, but I can't for the life of me fucking find one for Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker. I've got to buy
Yeah,
those guys separate. Make it make sense, man.
yeah. Oh, well, I've got one even more fucked up than that. They released a package of two. They released Dirge and Ramjet as a two set.
Where's Thrust?
I know.
What the
What the
fuck?
fuck?
These 2 packs are fucking insane.
Yeah, so
Um,
they're a team of three, but we'll release two of them. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
yeah, they do that shit. Like, that's like releasing fucking Pounce with Counterpunch, and Wingspan
Yeah.
with Punch. Like, what the fuck? Um, like I can't defend. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the toys that they put out are pretty decent, but fucking when shit like that happens, yeah, I can buy the 3 Rainmakers as a set, but I can't buy the 3 Seekers that everyone gives a fuck
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
as a set. like, yeah, but I've never seen that. Like, I've seen I think I've seen a 2-pack back in the universe days with Ultra Magnus and Skywarp, I want to say. um but the only other time I've seen a Seeker in a 2-pack with another character wasn't with another Seeker.
Yeah,
It was always with another Autobot or something. It was with an enemy. um
yeah,
I've never had them, yeah, like that. That is fucked up.
yeah. There's
That
an 86 Studio Series Thundercracker coming out early next year with Reflector, which is, yeah, I'd have to wait and see the price. If it, yeah, I don't know. I'm not so keen on Reflector. I think he's a
I
bit of a
mean,
punt, but
why is there a 86 Studio Series Reflector when the only appearance of the character in the 86 movie is when he's fucking miscolored?
yeah, that's what I try
I,
to remember. Yeah,
I
doesn't he
don't get
fucking
this.
die?
Yeah, because
um,
people think it's Ironhide. Remember in that scene,
yeah,
it's like from the air shot down over Autobot City, and you see what appears
oh
to
yeah,
be Ironhide flying in the air.
it's a
Um,
miscolored
it's a
reflector. Yeah.
miscolored reflector. So why the fuck is there a Studio Series 86 on reflector? I don't get that. Like, make that make sense. It would be up there if they did a Studio Series 86 Inferno. Inferno doesn't even appear in the film. Like, they've been doing this shit a lot recently.
Yeah.
Characters that don't even fucking appear in the series. But the fucked up part about that is that Inferno is on the credits roll at the end of the movie. If you
Yeah.
watch the
Okay.
voices of the characters, Inferno is. I think Chris McFeely pointed that out. Yeah, you'll notice that Inferno has a credit for the 1986 movie. Inferno doesn't even appear in the film.
Yeah, he's not in the movie at all. Yeah, that is interesting.
Um, my guess is he was probably in that Ultra Magnus Alert the Others scene that just never got animated to deal with Devastator. I think it's what I think Roadblock is killed in that fight.
Red
Um,
Alert. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
oh, Red Alert. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think if Inferno was meant to appear, it might have been around there. Um, but yeah, for the life of me, I can't. Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, the Transformers generation line that they used to have. Have you ever noticed that? Like, the ones that were like new molds or re-releases of characters from like Siege or Earthrise or anything like that, they would just put that Transformers generation stamp on it. But all of a sudden, somewhere along the line, the generation stamp got removed, and now it's just their fucking main line.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's but
Studio Series will
even
be a thing of the past soon because they treat Studio Series like their default line as well.
yeah, I wonder. Well, yeah, there's an 86 Thundercracker coming, and there's an 86 Shockwave as well, I think. But I do miss the sort of random, unexpected sort of choices, like the Legacy line. Like they just brought out a random Beast Machines cheetah, and that wasn't that long ago. But you'd think like they would. That was like a year or two ago. They would fucking never do that now. It's all just Although
But
they
the,
did have the Armada Red Alert, which but yeah, I don't know. I just get exhausted with just constant G1 stuff.
I'm a little bit like that as well. Like, I don't even own a Starscream um, of any description. I'd like to own the Energon one if they ever get around to re-releasing that. Um,
Yeah, they've done the Armada one.
yeah, but I
Hopefully,
think the Armada one sucks though. Like, I want
yeah,
I want the Energon one.
yeah.
Like,
Hopefully the Energon one's not too far away.
I like to do that with people who tell me their favorite versions of characters. I just channel the Tom Welling from the episode Red. I think the school's dress code sucks. Um, that's what I'm like. I think Armada Starscream sucks. I would like the Energon one. I'm kind of pissed off that the Energon Megatron never came to fruition. I know it had that core series release.
Yeah.
And the Beast Machines Cheetor had a core series release, but I don't think they ever got proper ones.
No, they had the yeah, just those little ones. Yeah. Um,
I hope the Michael Bay news. Yeah, Metin. I hope it's true that Michael Bay is returning, but sort of. But that kind of flies into the face of what we were talking about earlier, and that was, um, is Michael Bay returning really going to fix much? Because we're 20 years removed from his films almost. Like, it's been 15 years since Dark of the Moon. And yeah, he did do, what, The Last Night. But that was almost a decade ago as well. Like, I'm starting to think, yeah,
yeah,
you could bring him back and the movies would definitely be better. But, I mean, are they really going to stick the landing the way they need, though? Um, I don't know. I don't think they will. It'd be cool if he did do another one, but I think the world in which those movies thrived in, like we don't live there anymore.
yeah.
Um,
I because I have seen the later movies. They really struggle to capture the energy of Bay's films. The, Even though they have sort of the big wide spectacle action that the Bay films have, they no one does action like Michael Bay. um, yeah, just that sort of manic energy and intensity to the to his action scenes. The later films that he didn't do really like that. I'd love to see a return to that, and also the yeah, all those designs were yeah, they just seemed really fresh and bold and new at the time. Um, Whereas yeah, they're really playing it safe with a lot of these recent designs.
shit. Yeah, and they're always period pieces. You mentioned something interesting the other night was that the only movies in the lot that are set up in the present day are the Michael Bay films. Everything else is set in the fucking 80s or 90s.
Yeah, I think as well. Yeah, that yeah, and that's just sort of my personal preference. I would love a film that's set in the present day in our time again. Because yeah, I think the yeah, just the constant retelling. Well, it feels like it's constant. Just going back to the beginnings of the war. Yeah, I find that a bit exhausting as
Wouldn't
well. I
like
don't.
yeah, I kind of think that one of the things that they probably should do is just set it like I've got no idea how the last night ends, but set it in that post fifth movie era anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd love to see something like that.
I often wonder if we didn't go the Age of Extinction soft boot way, what would. Well, the other thing on that though is that they sort of needed to do the soft reboot in 4 with a whole new human cast almost out of necessity because, I mean, Dark of the Moon, like that pretty much capped off the Sam Witwicky story.
Yeah, and I think three films is a good, nice round number to step off from because, yeah, they update Optimus's design. They give him a fresh design, with a new model of truck, and yeah, they bring in the sword and the shield, and they alter him slightly. I
Well,
think that's a good way to do that. We got three films with the big sort of flame truck with the front cab, and then they yeah, sort of give him that sort of heroic medieval sort of knight look for films 4 and 5.
I think, yeah, 4 and The Last Night were not good, man. I never saw The Last Night, and I remember thinking, um, Age of Extinction didn't quite have the spring in its step the way that the other three did. But having said that, we did sort of mention why that was the case. I mean, they've got that Michael Bay energy, but they're not really hitting the same. Um,
Yeah, it could have been yeah, just that sort of attrition and fatigue that sets in. Five
and
films in.
it really does. I mean, like you think about that, like what series that has that many kind of installments, even if the quality is kept to an extremely high degree, doesn't suffer hits. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
eventually it'll find its audience. Not everyone is going to rush out and see it, um, and all that kind of thing. Like, it just sort of finds its way. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why things like Power Rangers and Pokemon will never be these massive fucking runaway zeitgeist that they were in the 90s. Well, it's found its niche, and I think the live action Transformers scene has sort of done that as well. Like, I think what they probably should do is end up sticking to doing like maybe just made for streaming movies with Transformers, like maybe the big theatrical releases and all that. Like, maybe that's done.
Yeah. Um, I'd like to see another crack at the big screen, but you could be right. I mean, if you factor in the later ones, that's what, like 8 or 9 films. So yeah, and yeah, I think the way human nature and viewing habits work is a type of attrition does set in, but it doesn't take um, it doesn't sort of mean it's permanent or forever. Westerns sort of talking about genre now rather than a specific film series. Like they were huge for decades until um, they weren't. Audiences' taste moved on, but they came roaring back in the '90s with films like Dances with Wolves was a huge hit. Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven was a huge hit. Tombstone. Suddenly westerns were back.
Yeah, they three
And
sense of humor.
yeah, and who dropped off a turd? It may have been Kevin Costner as well, and then he simultaneously killed it again. Because I think he did fucking Wyatt Earp. There were 2 Wyatt Earp movies
In the
in one.
same
I think
year. Yeah.
yeah, Tombstone, which everyone can agree is great. Yeah, and then Wyatt Earp or flopped. So yeah. Oh no, we suck again.
Yeah, I love that gif of I don't care how it's pronounced, of Rob Schneider. Oh no, we suck again.
Yeah.
Because like when the COVID lockdowns were happening and movie theaters weren't doing so hot, I remember when Christopher Nolan's Tenet was coming out and it was built as it's going to be the return of theater. Let the good times roll. Like, go get that Hollywood cash cow up and running again. And everyone online was banking so much on Tenet to just fucking crack the code and get us back in business, and it went down like a fart in an elevator. And that was the first thing. Like, they predicted the return of cinema like 8 or 9 times in 2021, and by the time Tenet finally drew its straw, I was just out of fucks to give, and that's the first thing that popped into my head was, oh no, we suck again.
Yeah, Tenet. It was, yeah, I think it came back way too early. The world and society was still pretty much in the grip of COVID fear at that
Mm.
point. Because yeah, that was the first big cab off the rank. Yeah, um, yeah, but audiences kept well away from that.
Did you guys watch the show Transformers Prime from 2010? I watched a little bit of, I think it was that Transformers Prime Beast Hunters, because I really like Predaking and I heard they had a new take on him. I watched that for a little bit, but no, I didn't get around to Prime. I think I downloaded it about 4 or 5 times, but I checked out a little bit of Beast Hunters because it was like the return of the Predacons and all that kind of jazz. And yeah, I really like their design for Predaking. Hey, he's got that dragon form. Give me a dragon
Yeah,
transformer and I'm fucking in. But nah, I didn't check it out. Yeah, because that's what got me to check it out, because I kept hearing Transformers Prime is like the best one since Beast Wars is all I ever hear. I'm like, that's a bold statement. I'll have to check that out. And by all reports, it is. In terms of its writing, it's probably the better one. Um, of the lot. But I did check out the sequel series, that Beast Hunters.
yeah, I remember that. I should, yeah, I watched bits and pieces of it. I never watched it the entire way through, Transformers Prime. But yeah, I really should sit down and consolidate it.
I mean, like, that's sort of the thing, though, isn't it? Because when but because by the time, like, I never watched Armada. Like, I thought the whole minicons thing was I mean, like, I get what they're going for. Like, it's almost like another crack at the headmasters and target masters in a way. Um I mean, yeah, it's okay, but I mean, Armada just really didn't do a lot for me when I was a kid. But for some reason, though, Energon really worked. I really liked Energon.
Yeah.
I thought Energon was really, really good. Maybe because of the whole Power Links thing, because I was a sucker for Megazords and Voltron and stuff like, and the Combiner teams from G1. Because it's interesting what I found about every time they went back to the G1. Well, like I mean, the character names, as you were saying, like the character names are the same through the Unicron trilogy, but the designs are different and their takes on the personalities are different and all that kind of thing. I always found it interesting though with the Unicron trilogy that they always fucking avoided using combiner teams, and I could never figure out why.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, like your Constructicons, like the Constructicons, hands down the most popular, famous, well-known combiner team of all time. Like we all have our favorites, but that's the gold bar. Like Devastator is absent in the entirety of the Unicron trilogy.
Yeah, that is a bit strange now that you pointed out.
Yeah, and I could never figure it out. Like I mean, like I know Energon had that Power Links um, gimmick where two Transformers could fuse together. I actually
Yeah.
really like that take, like with like Prowl and Rodimus, and like Landmine had his own take on it, and like Ironhide and Jetfire. But an actual core, like all of the sub teams, pretty much took a back seat. Like I think Starscream was the only Seeker to appear in all of the Unicron trilogy. I don't think Thundercracker and Skywarp ever had an on-screen appearance.
Yeah, that is a bit strange. I wonder if it's because of sort of licensing and rights issues and name trademarks or something like that.
Oh, it might have been. Like, I could understand that for maybe a team or two, but the fact that none of them are in there, like, yeah, Bruticus doesn't appear anywhere, like the Combaticons, the Stunticons, none of that happens.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is a bit strange. I'll have to
Like,
yeah.
you might be right. It could be something like that, or it could just be at that point in time, Hasbro just fucking forgot that they even had those teams. Um,
Yeah,
they might have been
most likely.
like they might have been just a bit more concerned with the first live action Michael Bay film. But there was that, like Omega Supreme takes a back seat for the entirety of Armada. He rocks up at the tail end of Energon.
Yeah,
I
okay.
actually really like that Optimus Supreme because he has a power links with Optimus to fight Unicron.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
didn't mind that Optimus Supreme. And then you had the new takes on the. Not true. The term Terracon is used, but it's not the Terracons. It's those Energon harvesters that hang around Scorponok,
yeah.
and Alpha Q, the Quintesson.
Yeah, I do remember them, yeah.
And I never saw. What was the third one? The third, it's Cybertron, wasn't it, or something like that? Or
Yes.
uh,
Yeah, Transformers Cybertron.
yeah, I never got around to checking that one out. The concluding chapter of the Unicron trilogy. I wonder if it was any good. Um,
Yeah, I own most of them. Oh, they're laying around here somewhere. I picked them up for a steal and a JB, I think. Armada and a John and Cybertron, yeah, collectively the Unicron trilogy.
because Unicron's the main antagonist of all three of them, isn't he? Like that's why it's
Yeah,
called
but
that.
he doesn't. Yeah, I think he shows up towards the end of Armada. Um, yeah, and then as the main antagonist from that sort of point on.
I actually didn't mind the black color scheme that they gave him for Energon because that's because they pull a G2 on you in Energon, and that is they all get these power ups, but they're basically all just palette swaps.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can buy the same toy twice. um, yeah, look, man. I mean, it's not the first time Hasbro have done that. It's certainly not going to be the last time. I just saw the in the current line that they're doing now in Age of the Primes, they're doing a Universe Razor Claw, which is a
Yes.
repainted Tiger Hawk, I believe.
Yes, I did see a picture of that a day or two ago.
Yeah, and there's no doubt in my mind we'll be getting a universe variant for the new Silverbolt, where he's purple and yellow from Beast Wars. Silverbolt has
Yeah,
a. I mean, we'll be seeing more of those Transformers universe, and I actually didn't mind the universe line for what it was, but what really sort of got me with that was I don't understand the sense in retiring that when it's clear that all Hasbro want to do is keep bringing out. I mean, case in point, the Studio Series Dinobots have all got their G2 variants, I believe, with the exception of Swoop.
yeah,
Um,
okay.
have all had their G2 variants released in some form or fashion. Well, why even bother retiring the Universe line? Just keep it going because that's all that Universe line ever did was
Yeah,
just re-release shit with different colors all the time.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to. I mean, until the prices of these things start coming down, I'm not really going to go out of my way to collect Transformer toys anymore. And I've already got a lot of the like bloke I work with collects Transformers a little bit. Then he's like, "Yeah, I was thinking about treating myself for Christmas. What's a big one that I haven't got yet?" And I've come to the realization that I've got pretty much all the ones that I've wanted. Um, I actively have to go out of my way to find a figure to buy.
yeah,
Like there's not anyone that I really want to headhunt. Oh, everyone has
yeah.
an RC. Yeah, Transformers Fall of Cybertron's a really good game. I never played War though. I played Fall, and Rise of the Darkspark was cinematic piss. Um, and yeah, I've got a few versions of RC. I've got the Kingdom RC. I've got the Studio Series one, and I've got one called Azalea. It was from that third party reformatted line. Um, but yeah, she's an awesome figure. RC. I mean, Transformers does a female robot, and everyone loses their minds, forgetting the fact that GoBots had Crasher the entire time.
Yeah, well, GoBots had several from memory, because Pathfinder was a female as well for the good guys. Crasher, and there were a couple more others, I think, but I can't remember their name. Escapes me.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'll I'll have to
um,
keep an eye
much
on
the
some of those. Yeah, the female robots. Like I know Transformers has loosened up a bit to it now.
yeah, Alita One, and like she Slipstream, that female seeker, she's quite sort of common now. She's had
Yeah,
a few toys get out.
and you've got the I can never remember the group name of them, but who's the all female combiner team that combines into Victorion?
Yeah, I remember them.
I can't remember the group name for
Yeah,
them.
they're
Um,
they're red, predominantly red.
yeah, they're Autobots, I think.
Yeah,
Um, I can't remember what they're called, but apparently that was a fan thing. They voted for that to retroactively add a team in. And that was a crowd thing apparently. I don't know. I really like the look of it, and I think if they're gonna add teams into G1, at least sort of make them like because like that's the real trick to it though is that you've got to make them fit the G1 aesthetic if they were there the whole time and we never saw them.
yeah,
Like you can't sort of pick things from Beast Wars and all of that and add them all in if they're supposed to belong in that era because there's no combiners in Beast Wars.
yeah. Because they had a couple of toys, but they never made it into the show.
That's
Even
that's
though
that's gonna fucking kill me now. I'm gonna need to look at what are they called. I know Victorion's the. I couldn't tell you any of the members if there's 5 or 6 of them, but I need to find out what they're called. Um, Torchbearers is what they're called apparently.
right,
I could have sworn they were Autobots. Victorion is formed by Pyra Magna, Jumpstream, Dust Up, Storm Clash, Skyburst, and Rust Dust. So there's 6 of them. There you go. Uh, I did not know that. Yeah, they're just called Torchbearer. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Whatever tickles your pickle. Yeah, Victoria. Well, there's awesome art of her standing next to Superion. Like, and I reckon that's when you've cracked the code. If the new design it doesn't look out of place in the lineup, I reckon that's when you've nailed it. She doesn't look out of place beating the shit out of Menasor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole and the combiner, but it's interesting with the combiner gimmick is that like what did we get? We had the power links thing. We've had what Skylinks and flywheels is another one. Like for me, a combiner has always been five or more team members combined into a single robot. But in things like the Wreckers and all of that, like we've had 3-member Constructicon teams. And we've also got the take on Devastator and Revenge of the Fallen when there's like 16 components to make him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the term combiner, it can go anywhere, I think. The only one that I was dead set against was Volcanion, but I mean, get with the times, old man. Of course, the Dinobots are going to become combiners sooner or later. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Volcanicus has grown on me quite a lot, though, in recent years. I used to think it was the fucking devil and blasphemy, and Dinobots don't. Well, I do agree with the sentiment that they don't need to combine because they're strong enough as it is. But the idea of the combination form, it's grown on me a little bit.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen sooner or later. So yeah, I'm amazed that it took as long as it did, I suppose.
Oh, hey, it's late to the party. But it got there because almost, I mean, like you try explaining to any kid today the combiner teams, almost immediately they're going to ask you, well, why the fuck can't the Dinobots do it? Like the Dinobots are a very popular team. Why can't they fuse? Like what's going on? And yeah, I was one of those kids as well. But lo and behold, 30 years later in life, it's finally happened. So Volcanicus, and that might have even been a crowd thing as well. Transformers Prime RC. I didn't even know she was in RC. She was in Prime. Because
Yeah,
I
I think
thought,
she's a blue bike, I think. Yeah.
yeah, well, she's almost universally a bike. Pretty much since Energon, I think that started. She turned into a motorcycle. I think she's a motorcycle in Revenge of the Fallen as well.
Yeah, she's part of that little team of three bikes.
Yeah, I don't even think she's named in the movie.
Yeah, well, most of them. Yeah, most of them aren't in that movie.
See, well, that's something that I remember a good one. Someone was like, "What do you think about the NPC characters in Ocarina of Time?" After seeing where they ended up in Majora's Mask. Okay, well, first things first, most of them didn't even have names in Ocarina of Time. And second of all, they're not the same characters because Majora is in Termina. It's that alternate reality. They're not the same people. They only look the same because of recycled assets. But but as far as the game's concerned, they're just in that. So how do you feel about this? Well, they're not the same. In a way. Yeah, she is blue. Oh well, there you go then. Yeah, in the show she's blue. Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough. I mean, what Princess Allura became blue, so why not?
Yeah, because I think RC in that show is the first to befriend a human rather than sort of the usual suspects like Bumblebee or Cliffjumper or someone.
Yeah, and I think as far as Transformers Armada goes, I believe the first on-screen Transformer we see, if I'm not mistaken, is actually Megatron.
Yeah, okay.
When he corners the kids in the desert. I'm pretty sure Megatron's the first one we see.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the first one to befriend a human. Oh, well, don't worry. I mean, was this around the time Optimus Prime was opening fire on humans? Because I remember that was one of the leaks for Age of Extinction, that Optimus Prime blows a human away with his own weapon. I'm sitting here thinking, I don't even think we see... At that point, I don't even think we've seen Megatron murder a human like that. But not Optimus Prime does. Like, I couldn't help but think, did Peter Cullen and Frank Welker get their scripts mixed up in an elevator somewhere? Like, you know that beat in Scream when Stu creeps up behind Randy and goes, "Oh!" and knocks all the videos out of his hand? Did they do something like that and get their scripts mixed up? Because the fucked up part about that is that I think that's the same movie where Megatron is negotiating with a human lawyer on how to get Decepticons released from custody. So let me get this straight. The Bay films got to the point where Megatron was liaising with human legal representation of Decepticons, and Optimus Prime was just straight up killing humans. Like, make it make sense, man. Like, I can't figure it out. Don't try and figure it out, whatever the hell you do. I mean,
Well, I think it was riffing on the Suicide Squad recruiting video or the recruiting scene.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I never saw Suicide Squad, um, so that might have something to
but
do
yeah,
with it.
you have um Dreadbot and Nitro Zeus and Mohawk all getting released from prison.
What are these names, man? Like, it was something that happened. Like, I know of Orion Pax, and by the way, that's the only fucking name that works. But, like, this DD16, TC14, and Ileta 1, like, what is this crap? Like, Transformers are not named like that. What is this?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's been
Yeah.
allowed to creep in.
Anyway, man, I don't know. I never saw any of the later Transformers movies because at that point I didn't see much of a reason why I needed to be there. I mean, if the toy looks great and it has an awesome review and I like whatever it turns into, I'll pick it up. But as I've already said, until these prices start coming down, which won't happen for a while, we've got too many dead shits just buying them anyway. Um,
Yeah,
so I'm like, that's pretty much done it for me. I'm like, yeah, nah, I've got all the big ones that I wanted. Anyway, I mean, like that Bruticus looks interesting. Um, I'll say that, but again, I'll completely hold off on that until all five Combaticons are out. Um,
yeah.
and I want to leave the door open for a new Defensor because I really like the Protectobots. I'd love to own a Defensor proper. I'll leave the door open for him, but until they're going to start talking my language, there's no reason to get focused on that. But anyway, what sort of stuff you got lined up? What are you checking out this weekend? I might have to finally get around to Deadpool. I've been saying it for like 2 weeks now.
Oh yeah, well it's a busy time of the year, sort of work-wise, tying up loose ends. So,
Yeah, yeah, well, that's
what
true
was
as
I?
well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get to it when you have time. What am I gonna do? I finished Stranger Things season two. Um, so yeah, but I might hold off on continuing on with it. I'll let that sort of simmer for a while. Yeah, I might give the pilot of the Bates Motel uh prequel series a watch. It's what they call a contemporary prequel. It's set in the present day, but it's a prequel to, like a 50-year-old movie. Um, it ran for 4 or 5 seasons, so um, yeah, it must have something going for it. I
I believe they did a similar thing with Nurse Ratchet as well for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I think they gave her a prequel modern day sort of series as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
I think it was just
um,
called Ratchet, it might have been.
yeah, right. It was yeah. There's a couple of things I want to get to.
Yeah.
I got the book. Yeah, because people forget these things are based on books. Psycho was based on a book. Um, The Exorcist was based on a book.
Yeah.
I picked up the book to the. It's a novelization to Cape Fear, but its actual book it was based on called The Executioners. They just filmed it as Cape Fear. That arrived today. I found a secondhand copy off eBay from someone from the
Oh,
Northern
yeah.
Territory. So yeah, it should be a breezy a breezy read. What about you? What are you gonna do?
Oh, well, I'll keep plugging away from I'll keep plugging away at Supernatural. I'll get back on that tomorrow night with the olds. Um, what else? I need to slay Deadpool this weekend. I mean, if you can squeeze in Venom: The Last Dance, I'm sure I can sort it out. Because that might even be a movie night thing downstairs. That if it turns out to be just balls out the way that it's meant to be. Uh, I don't know. I want to give the room a bit of a tidy up because the way I've got to pose my camera and all of that, so you don't see the fucking testing missile site in my little gallery room. I want to get it all fixed up and all of that, so when this fiber cable gets laid out, we can start doing some proper streaming. And I'd like to have a bit more of the Transformers memorabilia in the shot. Um,
Yeah,
and what else have
not
I?
be not be one of the out of focus guys.
Yeah, like no, the best part about Jason Lee and Almost Famous is when he's gone for a piss and they take off in the RV without him. Don't mind me, I'm only the fucking lead singer. That was my favorite of that. I had a few downloads ticking over. I'm not too sure if they're done yet. Um, and I don't know, after talking a little bit tonight about The Wire, I might have to check that one out. I don't know. After your um, chatting about Stranger Things, I think that's going to be an easy pass from me. Um,
I'm liking it.
oh no, like you didn't say it was shit or anything, but just like it's starting to go like head first into that 80s wank fest. So I'm like, oh well, I throw a rock and I can hit a series like that, man.
Yeah, but I think they did well. They pulled it back as the season went on. They were kind of overdoing it a little bit in the first episode of season two. But yeah, I think they sort of pulled it back um, a little bit as the season went on, and it really did stick the landing. Yeah, I feel like I'm really the characters are growing on me, and I like how they're sort of streamlining it. Like we've got season one under their belts, and obviously stranger things are happening again, and I like how they don't need to be convinced. Like there's this dark evil shit happening, and they catch like one of the characters catches up with another one and goes, shit's going down, and he goes, all right, let's go. You still got your baseball bat? And they just want to protect their town.
I
So I
was
like the fact that because in those sort of cliched horror sci-fi, people just don't believe what their eyes are telling them. So I do like when they catch up with people and they just automatically believe
you
and they
know,
just go off.
because that's exactly what I would be like if I was in that situation. And I love it when they do this. Supernatural does it a little bit, but I love how being 10 seasons in, I love how when someone sees a ghost for the first time and Sam and Dean have this sort of moment of going, do you want to give them the talk? That all this shit is real, just deal with it. But it's always the no, my mind was playing tricks on me. No one thinks like that. Everyone in this world knows exactly what the fuck they just saw. It,
Yeah.
it's why I think Seth Gecko was so beloved the way that he was with George Clooney's performance was that I don't want to hear any of this shit that I don't believe in vampires. I believe because I don't fucking believe in vampires, but I believe in my own two eyes, and what I just saw was fucking vampires. And I love at the
Yeah.
end, and like I love at the end of the movie where it's just like, what were they? Some kind of psychos? Psychos do not explode when sunlight hits them. I don't give a fuck how crazy they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah, that's sort of how I see that. And like, yeah, no, like you didn't flat out say it was shit or anything like that, but it's getting harder and harder for me to take a punt on new series. I mean, like I gotta like first things first, I gotta look at the age bracket of the guy who's making it. Because let me get this straight. There's a character that only listens to 80s music because they can't
Yeah.
get with the
As
times.
well.
Oh my fucking god, I am so
Yeah.
sick of this shit.
And it's a bit of a shame because I'll send you the link. There's one scene in particular. It's a short one, but it illustrates the problem where it's just so fucking cringy and on the nose. And I'm thinking, All right, get somewhere fast with this, because I can bail on it because season one was relatively self-contained. I can sort of leave it there, but yeah, I just sent you the little link, and it's a shame because I believe this guy is the Red Ranger from the 2017 Power Rangers.
Yeah,
So
Dacre
in
Montgomery.
this sort
Yeah,
of
he's an Aussie. Yeah.
um, which is a shame because he's a total fucking flog in this show. But and yeah, Jason is like this heroic. But yeah, watch that little clip and you get my frustration. It's so fucking on the nose.
Okay, hang on a minute. Let me just because I don't want to have it. Hang on. Yeah, all right. Chain smoking wanker, obviously. No teenager has a fucking car like that. I don't care what year it's set in. Is that the Scorpions? uh, yeah, this is yeah. Uh I don't yeah, I haven't got it in me, man.
Yeah, that was probably the most egregious example. 99% of the time, they do get it right with leaning into 80s music and 80s songs. So, but that one there, that was the most egregious one that I almost bailed right then. Um, but they do recover from that, and he's a real and you need good villains, and he's sort of a villainous sort of character as the story unfolds.
um See, because this is what does my head in. I don't want to crack open too many cans of worms, but this is relevant to what we're talking about here. I'm not a big fan of if you want to talk about rewriting of history, like case in point, that clip from Stranger Things has Scorpions rock you like a hurricane, right? Their only fucking song that anyone on the street could name. Like there's no Scorpions fans out there that could name all of their hits because they only ever had one. Like what?
Yeah, I
The
didn't mind.
Scorpions the Scorpions had one album and it was Scorpions' greatest hits. Um
I liked their song. Was it "Wind of Change" about the Russian revolution or whatever it was? That was a good song.
it's like people talking about, oh man, the 80s. Do you remember the Seagulls? They had one fucking song that anyone can name.
Yeah, the Scorpions, but yeah, on the whole, it was pretty good. But yeah, I'll let that sort of settle for a while, and I'll watch something else. I'll probably check out the Bates Motel, and
I might have to
actually I may even watch Psycho 3 because
I
I
was
do
just I
remember
was
that
just
was
about to say
pretty
that
solid.
one. I didn't mind that one. I thought that one was pretty good, and in ways, it's better than two.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it Anthony Perkins as well? I can't
yeah,
remember.
it is. Yeah, I believe it's
Um,
him for the first four. In fact, he
yeah,
might even have a directing credit on the third one.
yeah, okay, yeah. What an absolute legend to, because I think there was like a 22-year gap between the first and second installment.
which is
Um,
which is what cracked me up about everyone freaking out about how, oh, the original actors are coming back for Star Wars 7. I'm like, Psycho 2 did that like 30 years ago, man, and fucking like, yeah, all right, but this is Star Wars, it's different.
yeah, yeah, it's Anthony Perkins reprising his role as Norman Bates. I mean, and I thought he was phenomenal in Psycho too. He was absolutely outstanding.
It's got the most eeriest fucking soundtrack, that second one.
Yeah, Jerry Goldsmith. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh well,
very.
there you go then. I knew I would have known who it was, but yeah, Jerry got. Well, there you go then. I mean, yeah, that mission accomplished. That explains everything right there.
Yeah, the he was the main theme is brilliant. And um the yeah the yeah I thought the whole movie actually was really well put together. Lots of twists and turns, keeps you guessing right to the end if he's losing his mind again or if he's it's a copycat and or
Well,
he's being cloned.
the best part about Psycho 2 is that, well, what does the sequel do that the first one doesn't? Well, the answer for that is simple, is that he doesn't get arrested again. He lives to fight another day
Yeah,
and he's unhinged again. Um, like it's
yeah,
literally
that's
the
right.
complete
Yeah,
opposite of how the first one ends. Like it's totally open ended. It can go anywhere now.
yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I might stick with Psycho 3.
Yeah, man. Now you got me on a fucking. I might watch it when you fuck off. Psycho 2. I mean, but hey, it's been a while since I've seen the first one as well. Um,
Yeah, um, because you got number one, and but yeah, I guess because of its reputation, it's sort of um, yeah, it was just sort of in my memory a bit.
do you?
You should probably check out the 1998 remake.
Who was in that one again?
Uh, so the girl was oh, what's her name? She was in 6 Days, 7 Nights with Harrison Ford. Anne
Anne
Hesh.
Hesh. Yeah.
She's the girl in it. Yeah, Viggo
Vince Vaughn.
Mortensen was the boyfriend, and
Julianne Moore. Yeah.
yeah, Vince Vaughn is Norman.
Bill Macy
Yeah,
is in there.
William H Macy.
Oh, and
Yeah,
Rita Wilson. Yeah. All
of
right. All the
yeah,
hits are coming out. The
yeah. I
Psycho
like that
remake.
running gag. All the victims make it a little bit further into the house. Like that second chick makes it up the stairs before getting whacked. Well, she got further than the first bloke did.
Yeah, like yeah, Vince Vaughn
Bill
has a
Macy's good at it.
Bill Macy is awesome in everything though. Oh,
Yeah,
come on. uh
yeah,
Vince Vaughn has played a psycho a few times. I'm just looking at the credits list now. Like, yes, so he's Norman Bates in the remake. But do you remember that movie, Domestic Disturbance, with John Revolton?
I
Like
do.
he
Yeah,
plays a fucking lunatic in that as well.
yeah. And it's a weird kind of remake because Gus Van Sant, like he pretty much copies Hitchcock's shot for shot. It's a very weird sort of interesting way to do it. But yeah, but I haven't seen that one in a long, long time. I don't think I've watched the remake of Psycho since it first came out. I don't think I've seen it revisited it this century.
All right, so it's been a long time between drinks.
Yeah, I might check
Psycho.
that one out tonight.
Yeah, all right. If I can get a rip of it tonight, oh God help me, but I'll stream it. I'll check it out tonight, the Psycho remake,
Yeah.
and see how it goes. So, okay, you've convinced me. That might be what to cap off on tonight. But no, I mean we've got I reckon we did pretty good tonight. It was awesome chat as it always is. Got the next game under wraps, giving it its big hard save, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be Night of Psychos. Um, so yeah, no, it's going to be awesome checking that out. But yeah, nah, man, fucking awesome. So we're gonna have to get into it same time, same station. Um,
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Have a good rest of your night and weekend. I'll be back next week, all right?
Yeah, sounds good, mate. Take it easy, and everyone behave yourselves. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, take care. Bye bye.